Okay, this lesson is looking at factorising, but this time it's factorising by grouping. And we need to use factorising by grouping when we have 4 or more terms in an expression. And the important part here is that we can't find a common factor between all of them. All of them. Okay, and what we can do in the meantime, if we can't find a common factor between all of them and all of our terms, then what we can do is find factors in pairs or in sets of 2. Okay, so let's have a look at our first example. What we've got is term AB, 5B, 3A and 15. Now if you look across, not all of them have an A, not all of them have a B, not all of them even have a nice number we can work with. So what we have to do is split it in 2, and I'm going to split it down the middle just here. So we've got 3A on this side and 15 on that side, and AB and 5B. So what we can do is now work in pairs. So we can find a common factor between these two, and we know the common factor here is B. And if we are left with AB divided B, we just get A, plus we are going to have 5B divided by B is 5. Right, so that's factorised that part, and then we can factorise this part over here. Now we can find that both of these have numbers, and nicely 3 is a factor of 15, so we can actually pull out the 3 and we are left with A plus 15 divided by 3 is 5. Now it doesn't just stop there. Even though we've made this more simple, we can actually see that there is a common factor between both sides of this expression now. And what you can see is that this whole bracket is common. So now that becomes our common factor, and we're going to bring that part out the front. So the entire bracket, A plus 5, comes out the front as the common factor, and whatever is left behind goes into our second bracket. So B plus 3. You can see here is B and here is 3. So this time our common factor was the A plus 5 section. And what we can do, just to make sure, is we can actually do a little bit of a check. We know how to expand, and we know that factorising is the opposite. So if we expand this out, we should get this up here. So let's try it. A plus 5, B plus 3. We can do our crab claw method. We would have A times B plus A times 3 plus 5 times B plus 5 times 3. So that is AB plus 3A plus 5B plus 15. And we've actually got all of the terms that we need, so we've done it correctly. Let's try our second example now. And this time we've got 2P, 3K, KP and 6. Once again, we can't find a common factor between all of them. So what we need to actually consider is we need to rearrange it. Firstly, so that we have pairs where they are common with a common factor. Because if we look at these two to start with, 2P and 3K don't have much in common apart from, say, the number 1, but that's not really going to be helpful. We can have a look over here and go, all right, there's a K and a K. We could do that. So let's put these two together and go 3K plus KP, it's not a good K, and then put the last 2 in, so 2P plus 6, and we've got the same terms, we've just rearranged it. Right, let's have a look. Let's try and factorise it now that we've got these ones together. We've got, let's have a look. What could we pull out of here? K. K is common here, so then we'd end up with 3 plus P. And out here we've got to worry about a number, so we'd have to pull out 2, and we'd be left with P plus 3. Now we can actually see this is the same. Once again, it's just in a different order. 3 plus P is the same as P plus 3. So we can pull this one out and say 3 plus P is our common factor, and whatever is left behind, K plus 2, is whatever is left behind. So once again, we can do our check. I might do our check over here. Sorry, I'm a bit poorly spaced in this one. 3 plus P, K plus 2. Let's do our crab claws. And we would end up with 3 times K plus 3 times 2 plus P times K plus P times 2. So 3K plus 6 plus KP, we put them in alphabetical order, plus 2p. We have 2p, we have kp, we have 6, and we have 3k. So we have all the right ones there. So when we do factorising by grouping, it's because we can't find a common term, a common factor in all the 4 terms, so you need to look at them in groups. If you can't find them in pairs next to one another, you might need to rearrange the sum first of all.